Good afternoon folks, and welcome to a brand new vlog. This vlog is a little bit twisted because I will go inside to see how Ulises is doing. Ulises is a really great hairdresser and also a barber here in Copenhagen. And he's just down there, you can see him right there. Let's go inside and see how they're doing. Hello! There we got Jimmy as well. Nice man, what's up bro? All good?
What's up?
All good? So this is Ulises, and this is the place where he had this. Beautiful man, love it. So this is the first time I'm here actually. I've never been here before. That's nice. There we go guys, so now the haircut should be finished, and Ulises, you can maybe
Hello,
talk a little about. So Ulises, just in short, where are you from and what are you doing here?
My name is Ulises Garcias. I was born in Nicaragua, but living here in Denmark. Yeah, cut all the famous peoples. And maybe you've seen me on Slick Hair TV. You recognize me from there.
Of course.
So yeah, it's nice to cut your hair.
And Ulises also have an Instagram where there's a lot of followers. He's doing a lot of tutorials as well. So we will down below in the description just leave them there. But just in short, Ulises, could you please tell me what you have done here with the hair?
We made a little bit fake from 0 to 3 millimeters, and we get inspired a little bit of David Beckham, the old hairstyle he had. So yeah. It's very nice.
Beautiful.
It's very sharp.
Love it. And the fade is just great. So the bird here as well. Nice. Great. So that's pretty much it. So go check out Ulises' Instagram. There we go. Cheers guys. Bye. Cheers bro. Hey. Just a little shout out here for Ulises. Great place in Copenhagen. Great haircut as well. It was pretty good. Love it. So right now we will go back to the office because I have some meetings with the other guys, and then after that I will be having some meetings also, but that is pretty much internal. But yeah, let's hit for the office and then go for the meetings there. Just in short, I can tell you a little about the company and so on. We are an international company. We manufacture our own luminaires, like design them and then we sell them. So it's typically, that could be, for instance, hotels, restaurants, office buildings. We also have a lot of street lights in our portfolio at the moment when it comes to projects. And then we also have some industrial lighting as well. So it's a pretty wide range of products we actually have. And at the moment we are distributing our products into 7 countries. So yeah, it's starting to grow, but we are not like a huge company, but it's pretty good at the moment actually. Hey folks, we have now had the sales meeting. It went quite good actually. We went through different parts, and I also talked with my salespersons about the future plans for Normasym, and also about how we and how they were able to navigate in the future goal that we have in Normasym as well. So I think when it comes to having those sales meetings with your employees, it's really important that you just put all the cards on the table to show them exactly where the company are in this process. Also because they are a great part of building up the company with you. So for that reason, they have to know the details when it comes to budgets in the future and things like that. So this is also something that I want to go into details with in another vlog, but not in this one here. So right now I am sitting in front of the computer here to create some different pitches where I will where we'll pitch our company in front of a lot of potential investors. And I believe when it comes to these pitches here, I have been involved in that before. It's not easy. It's not an easy game. You maybe have like 2 minutes. Sometimes you only have less than that, like 60 seconds, and then you have to really bring that vibe, which is a lot of investors are just searching. So you will have to find out what they are tricking about when it comes to your company, and then you just have to bring that in a package which is not taking so long time to talk about. So this is what I'm trying right now. I'm trying to combine this pitch so it will just be like this, and then it will hopefully bring some good connections with these investors. But before I end this vlog, I will also like to point a few things out. I went to Ulises. He is a great hairdresser, and maybe we can turn it a little bit, as also mentioned in the beginning, because about personal branding, it's where the magic happens nowadays, I believe. So for that reason, maybe we can mention Ulises as a great example for that. He's a hairdresser, and a lot of people are working with him because he has a great Instagram, and of course also because he's really a good hairdresser and knows how to do the great job always. But what is really important when it comes to personal branding is that you find out the structure on how you want to target your audience. So what I normally do, and I cannot talk with Ulises' word here because he can be in another vlog. But what I do here is that I'm trying to bring some of my personal, hopefully you see that as knowledge on how to be an entrepreneur. And then I am, of course, trying to brand myself, and I try to be helpful for other people. I do not get any money for this. It's only just something that I think is really fun, and also because you hopefully get something good value out of this. So this is one way that you can try to promote yourself and to brand yourself, like in real life. If you're not so much into vlogging, I prefer also in the that was 2 years ago to do a podcast. It didn't work out for me, but it maybe work out for you. So if you want to do that, it's a great way to start, because if you are not so good on the screen, then podcast might be the answer for you. Actually, a lot of persons are into podcasts these days, because podcast is really, you just need your voice, and you need to have the script in front of you. Maybe sometimes you're also doing podcasts just with like interviews, which I also have done here in my vlogs. Sometimes I have these interviews that you might have seen. So it's really come down to what do you want. If you're not like familiar with having this camera in front of you, I just have this camera in front of me like this, then do not do it. It is, of course, try it out, because you can never tell before you have tried it out, right? But if it's really not you, then go for the podcast, and that's a great way to start, because then you will start to get audiences who are listening to you. And if the podcast is really good, then you meet up with other persons who also are doing podcasts, and then you connect, and that's really good. So try to do different ways of personal branding is a great way. So also what I would like to point out here is, back in the days, that was in 2011, I did a lot of lectures where I was telling people about the LEDs and lighting, for instance. I did that because I have wrote a book back in 2011. And that was the first book in Danish about this subject, and for that reason I of course have some knowledge. I know a thing or two about that subject, and I wanted that to be used. So I have probably been in, I don't know, like I have held like 300 lectures, something like that, and I love it. I love to stand in front of people and talk about a subject that I really love and knows about. So this is something that you also can consider writing a book. It takes a lot of time, and this is something that you really have to remember before you start to write your book. personal branding, it's the way forward right now these days, because if you have a company and you just and the customers who are in connection with you as a company, it might work out as well if you are a really large company and you have a lot of clients in the first hand, but to stand out like a personal brand, let's just take Richard Branson, which is a good example of that. He is standing in position of Virgin, and I believe it's really important in the future also to see how you are able to like doing the personal branding in terms of your own business, because then you are able to push your business even further without knowing. So if you do some blogs like I am doing, I do this for free as I mentioned, but I do not have a strategy like my company should grow for this one here, but it will in some way. And that's why personal branding is so important, and that's something that you have to think about. So if we get back to Ulises just in 1 minute here, Ulises is doing in a great way that he is trying to get in touch with people who have more followers on Instagram, and then he gets some connections through, and he is showing, maybe if you go to Ulises Instagram, like I also mentioned in the beginning, it's just down below here, then you will see that he has been posting a picture of me with him, and I have been posting a picture with him and me. So this is really a great synergy sometimes when you do that, and then you just help each other. And that's really good if you're a hairdresser, because then you can really get a lot of customers. And I actually asked Ulises about this subject here, that he is really gaining a lot of customers through Instagram. And maybe you should do the same. I mean, it's a great way to start out, and of course it takes some time. Ulises has been in the market here for like 12 years, so he knows the game. And this is something which is really I admire that. It's great to see that a person with that high passion for what he's doing when it comes to hairdressing, he's just moving forward on Instagram. It's great, right? So yeah, it was just about personal branding. I think it's a really important thing that you have to take care of in the future as well when you go into entrepreneurship, because if you're not standing in this position as an entrepreneur who is really like a front figure for your company, then it might work, but it's nowadays a lot easier if you are in really standing position, I believe. So with that being said, guys, give it a like if you like what you saw. Remember to subscribe down below. There's a subscription button right there if you want to see more like this in the future. Nothing more to say than I will be working more now this evening, and then tomorrow morning starting at 5 AM as always. Enjoy your evening, guys, and take care.